Welcome, 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 Rubbinus. Just gonna wait a little bit longer because supposed to have a friend joining soon with their child. So just gonna wait a few minutes just so they can see it live. But I can tell you guys who are here a little bit about this book. So it's pretty another wonderful book from the Library of Congress. It's beautifully illustrated. It reminds me a little bit of the game Fallout, the style of the drawing. Um, Peter Newell, writer and illustrator, around the turn of the 20th century, 1912. And it's really about a book which kind of addresses that thing of high density living, um, as all the Americans started moving into the cities from the country. People were living a lot closer together, and this sort of irreverently um, talks about that. It's quite nicely done. Just going to get things a little bit organised here. Got some food heating up as well. Hopefully we'll get some of the people in channel here have been wanting to catch this for a while, but we'll give them a second just in case they're having technical difficulties there. I think I'll go at about 1:44. So I'll just having a lot of trouble. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we'll give it another 5 minutes. It's quite possible I'm using convection microwave, which is I've just bought, and it could well be starting a fire outside. So I'm just going to go and check that, and I'll be right back. Oh, I'll post the link again in chat. Just waiting for a friend to join. Just putting that in chat just in case people turn up late. Malin, welcome. Just give us a moment. In about 4 minutes, we'll be back. Just want to make sure that we're starting this with my friend present. They've got their child who wants to hear this book. So 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Hold up the right amount of figures. I'll be back. Thank you for your patience, guys. Good to see you, Marlon. Welcome, welcome. So, do I pronounce your name Maylin or Malin? Just want to make sure I get that right. Welcome, Grubbiness and Carbon as well. Always good to see you guys. Uh-oh. Where has my chat gone? Have I lost internet? Okay, what's going on? I don't seem to have my people in here. Just going to make a quick call. Give us a moment. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Hang on, I must have huge lag or something.
Yeah, you probably do. Can you hear me coming out the computer in delay?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, yeah.
Is it better?
Yep. So your lags should all match those. So maybe if you hang up the call, you should be able to
Oh,
hear.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll take that off. Welcome, welcome. Finally, oh dear, something funny's going on with my mouse. Oh, I've put my phone on the space bar. All right, welcome everyone. Let's begin. So we're going to do the Rocket Book by Peter Newell from 1912. The Rocket Book by Peter Newell, Harper and Brothers, New York. I don't know why that is. There we go. So the Rocket Book, patented in June 4th, 1912, printed in the USA. So the copy I've got is from the Library of Congress. In chat, I'll put the link, and with that link, you can actually you can watch it. You can actually read it yourself. So if anything happens with this stream, and you can't just say you can't see it properly or it lags. I mean, there will be a video later, but you can also go to that website and read it yourself. The basement. When Fritz the janitor's bad kid went snooping in the basement, he found a rocket snugly hid beneath the window casement. He struck a match with one fell swoop, then on the concrete kneeling, he lit the rocket, and shoop! It shot up through the ceiling. The Steiners on the floor above of breakfast were partaking. Crash came the rocket, unannounced, and set them all a-quaking. It smote a catsup bottle fair, and bang the thing exploded. And now these people all declare the catsup flask was loaded. Before the fire, old Grandpa Hop dozed in his armchair big, when from a trunk the rocket burst and carried off his wig. It passed so near his ancient head, he roused up with a start, and turning to his grandson said, "You fellows think you're smart." Third flat. Algernon Brackett, somewhat rash, had blown a monster bubble, when there came a blinding flash, precipitating trouble. But Algy turned in mild disgust, and called to Mama Brackett, "Say, did you hear that bubble bust? It made an awful racket." Fourth flat. Joe Budd, who'd bought a potted plant, was dousing it with water. He fancied this would make it grow, and Joseph loved to potter. Then through the pot the rocket shot, and made the scene look sickly. "Well now," said Joe, "I never thought that plant would shoot so quickly." Fifth flat. Right there, 'tis needful to remark that Dick and little son were playing with a Noah's Ark and having loads of fun, when all at once that rocket stout up through the ark came blazing. The animals were tossed about and did some stunts amazing. Funny looking ark. Sixth flat. A burglar on the next floor up the sideboard was exploring. The family with the brindle pup was still asleep and snoring. Just then, up through the silverware, the rocket thundered flaring. The burglar got a dreadful scare, then out the door went tearing. Seventh flood. Miss Mamie Briggs, with no mean skill, was playing Casey's fling to please her cousin Amos Gill, who liked that sort of thing. When suddenly the rocket hot, the old piano jumbled. It stopped that ragtime like a shot, then through the ceiling rumbled. Eighth flat. Up through the next floor on its way, that rocket dread went tearing, where Winkle stood in bathrobe gay, a tepid bath preparing. The tub it punctured like a shot, and made a mighty splashing. The man was rooted to the spot, then out the door went dashing. Ninth flat. Bob Brooks was puffing very hard, his football to inflate, while round him stood his faithful guard, and they could hardly wait. Then came the rocket, fierce and bright, and through the football rumbled. "You've got a pair of lungs, all right," his staring playmates grumbled. Tenth flat. The family dog, with frenzied mien, was chasing Fluff the Mouser, when poof the rocket flashed between, and quite astonished Towser. Now if this dog had wit enough, the English tongue to torture, he might have growled such silly stuff as, "Whoa, that cat's a scorcher." 11th flat. While Carrie Cook sat with a book, the phonograph played sweetly. Then came the rocket, and it smashed that instrument completely. Fair Carrie promptly turned her head, attracted by the roar. "Dear me, I never heard," she said, "that record played before." 12th flat. De Vere was searching for a match to light a cigarette, but failed to find one with dispatch, which threw him in a pet. Just then the rocket flared up bright before his face and crackled, supplying him the needed light. "Thank awfully," he crackled. Home from the shop came Maud's new hat, a hat of monstrous size. It almost filled the tiny flat before her ravished eyes. When shkoo up through the box so proud, the rocket flared and splintered, I said, "That hat was all too loud." Her peevish husband muttered. That should really be, "I said that hat was all too loud," her peevish husband muttered. 14th flat. Tom's pup had helped him start his train. Hang on, is that pop? Tom's pap, meaning father. Tom's pap had helped him start his train, and all would have been fine had not the rocket, raising Cain, blocked traffic on the line. It blew the engine into scrap, as in a fit of passion. "Who would have thought that toy," said Pap, "would blow up in such a fashion?" Orlando Pease, quite at his ease, the Morning Star was reading. "My dear," said he to Mrs. Pease, "here's a report worth heeding." The rocket then in wanton sport flashed through the printed pages. The lady gaped, "A wild report!" then swooned by easy stages. 16th flat. Doc Danby was a stupid guy, so lest he sleep too late, he placed a tattoo clock right nearby to waken him at 8. But the rocket smote that clock and smashed its way clean through it. "You have a fine alarm," said Doc, "but say, you overdo it." 17th flat. A penny liner, Abram Stout, was writing a description. The flame shot up, he pounded out, then threw a mild conniption. For through his Flemington there shied a rocket hot and mystic. I didn't mean to be, he cried, so deuced realistic. 18th flat. Gus Gummer long had set his head upon some strange invention. Be careful, Gus, his good wife said, it might explode, I mention. Just then the pesky rocket flared and wrecked that Yankee notion. I feared as much, his wife declared, then fainted from emotion. 19th flat. While Bert was on his hobby horse and riding it like mad, the rocket on its fiery course upset the startled lad. The frightened pony plunged a lot, like fury playing tag. Whoa, Spot, said Bert. Who would have thought you such a fiery nag? 20th flat. A taxidermist plied his trade upon a walrus's head. It really made him quite afraid to meet its stare so dread. When suddenly the rocket bright flared up and then was off. Oh, Minnie, cried the man in fright, just hear that walrus cough. Top flat. Oh, it was just a splendid flight, that rocket's wild career, but to an end it came all right, as you shall straightway hear. It plunged into a can of cream that Billy Bunk was freezing, and froze quite stiff, as it would seem, and so subsided wheezing. And that's the end of the tale. Um, yeah, fascinating little tale, and it's these beautiful illustrations back from the turn of the 20th century. 1912 it came out. Interesting how some of them are colorized and some are not. Possibly it's just faded like that. The Rocket Book. So thank you for joining me. Please feel free to say something in chat if you've got any, um, you know, if you've got any feedback, if you liked it, if you hated it, any ideas what I should do next. If you have a look on that Library of Congress site, the link I've put in chat is for this actual book, but there are quite a few other books. A lot of them are very long, so I don't know which ones I'll do here. So there you go. There we have it. It's 2:04. So that's well, we took a little while to start because we were waiting for trying to get some of my friends in here. So thank you for joining me. And what I'll do is I'll trim down that bob to make it a highlight to get rid of that gap, the waiting time, and all that. And so that'll be on Twitch, and I'll probably put it on YouTube as well a bit later. So you'll be able to see it there too. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time for reading fun. And we'll probably do another Library of Congress book, I think. So welcome, farewell, have a great day, goodbye, and good luck.